10 things nobody tells you when trying to gain weight plus muscle. When people want to gain weight and muscles, the first philosophy that comes to their minds is that eating big equals getting big. In truth, there's only so much the human body can take. But then again, adding bulk is a must if you want to add muscle. The key here is to gain weight, or better yet, bulk up the right way. Otherwise, you may find yourself with a double chin and a gut. So the big question now is, how do you gain mass without looking straight up sloppy? In this video, we will discuss the 10 things that for some reason nobody has told you yet when trying to put on weight and muscles, aka bulk up. To give you a small preview, one insider secret we have is that there are best meal times when gaining muscle. Seems interesting? Keep watching then. Number 1, there's a thing called too many calories. Everyone has slightly different nutritional needs based on a person's size, activity level, and metabolism. So, must you really aim for 6,000 calories a day to build mass? Is 5,000 enough, or maybe 4,000? First off, no, you don't need 6,000 calories per day. Even 5,000 can be a little excessive. For many bodybuilders, building mass requires consuming 17 to 20 calories per pound of body weight. For example, a 200-pounder usually needs 3,400 to 4,000 calories a day. Consider starting with 16 to 17 calories per pound of your weight and check yourself in the mirror after 1 to 2 weeks. If you've gained some in your midsection, your calorie intake may be too high. If not, then increase your calorie intake a bit. From there, experiment with incremental increases until you reach a level that's best for you. Number 2, the importance of the 2 best meal times. When it comes to growing muscles while also ensuring you aren't adding body fat, there are 2 most important meals. These are your breakfast and post-workout meals. These 2 meals determine whether you will develop mass for the day or just move sideways. Eating a lot for breakfast boosts your anabolic or muscle-building hormones. As a result, it suppresses catabolic hormones that try to break down muscle tissue. Moreover, after training, your muscles suck up almost all incoming nutrients that support muscle growth, all the while hampering the process of storing body fat. Thus, if you don't eat enough at breakfast and after morning, your recovery will be compromised, which can then affect your metabolic rate. And poor metabolic rate makes it easier for you to get fat. Number 3, low carb intake slows down your progress. It's a universal truth that protein is the most important nutrient for gaining muscles. However, it's also true that carbs play a critical role in this process, especially after training. Putting a break into your carb intake means not getting enough calories. Therefore, since mass gain is your aim, you should include 2 to 3 grams of carbs per pound of body weight daily. Carbs help dull cortisol levels. Cortisol, or the stress hormone, can disrupt testosterone's anabolic activities in the muscles and prompt muscle breakdown, particularly after a workout. For your post-workout meal, add 40 grams of fast-digesting protein like whey and 80 to 100 grams of fast-digesting carbs like baked potatoes, white bread, honey, and fruit. Carbs spike the anabolic hormone insulin, driving glucose, amino acids, and supplements into your muscle cells. In the end, it promotes muscle protein synthesis. Guess what else spikes insulin and encourages growth? Amino acids, that's what. Next up is how aminos help with muscle gain. Before we move on, a like would be awesome. Number 4, don't avoid important aminos. Some amino acids are more essential than others. Branched-chain amino acids, BCAAs, aid in preventing the breakdown of muscles that are usually accompanied by hard training. If you take BCAAs before and after your session, your muscles are protected from being torn apart and burned. Albeit indirectly, it still promotes growth. Of the 3 BCAAs, leucine plays the biggest role. For starters, it stimulates insulin, which then triggers muscle growth. Additionally, it directly switches on the messengers in muscle cells that promote growth. You have 2 options, a combo of 5 to 10 grams of BCAAs or 5 to 8 grams of leucine both before and after training. Number 5, an after-midnight meal helps a lot. The key to mass building is to maintain an anabolic state in which the body is constantly supplying amino acids to muscles to create growth. When you're asleep, the body can fall out of this state. Thankfully, there's a simple way out of this. First off, drink 20 to 36 ounces of water before bed. It should be enough to wake you up in the middle of the night. Once you've woken, drink a protein shake added with 3 grams of amino acid arginine. The amino acids will support the continuous delivery of protein, and arginine will aid in the growth hormone production. Number 6. It's okay to eat a little dirty sometimes. Everyone seems to be so focused on having a clean eating routine with healthy foods such as lean protein, sweet potatoes, and egg whites. Not that it's wrong, by the way, as it's very admirable of them. But indulging yourself with a little treat or two won't hurt. In fact, it can help increase the number on the scale. Just don't start eating all junk food. Combine your healthy whole food diet with an occasional extra dose of simple carbs or fat. Once in a while, you can eat a few cookies, a piece of cake or two, or a few scoops of ice cream without feeling guilty. And speaking of fats, here's why it's important to add them to your diet. Number 7. Don't completely avoid fats. Fatty foods aren't ideal if you want to gain weight and muscle at the same time. Unless, of course, if you aim to do a dirty bulk, then you may. Plus, stubborn fat takes longer to burn when you cut. That said, you don't need to avoid fats altogether, especially for hard gainers who cannot stuff themselves enough to pack on pounds. Adding extra fats, the healthy kind of course, to their foods is helpful. This way, they can have an extra dose of calories without having to eat a high volume of food and walk around bloated. Pick unsaturated fats such as extra virgin olive oil or foods low in saturated fats such as peanut butter. Number 8. Don't measure your progress with scale alone. A scale only tells you how much weight you've gained and not the kind of weight. Countless people gain weight all the time, but most of it is body fat. Failing to differentiate the types of weight you gain increases your likelihood of getting fatter. So take photos instead. Do it for a period of time from the exact angles. Next, test your body fat. Using calipers every 2 weeks is a very accurate tool to keep track of your body composition. Your body weight may have significantly increased, but it could be mostly lean muscles and less fat, so that's good. Lastly, measure your waist around your belly button, as this is where people tend to carry their body fat. It's great to gain an inch on your arms and legs, but if you also gain 2 inches on your waist, then it practically cancels your progress. No one wants to be a perma-bulker, which is essentially someone who is in a never-ending cycle of bulking up and is actually fatter than they think. Learn how to prevent yourself from becoming one. Number 9. There should be a time limit for bulking. You must set a deadline for your bulking phase, or else you can dangerously be a perma-bulker who stays chunky for the rest of your life. An ideal bulk should last for 16 to 20 weeks. Once you've reached that time, switch gears and begin a cut or mini one to reset your system. It's very tempting to just keep going for a few more months until you reach your goal. Unfortunately, this method will make your body desensitize just about anything it encounters. And so, after months of eating so much food, your body loses its ability to convert those calories into muscle and just ends up as fat. Number 10. Strive for progress, not perfection. It's completely normal to skip meals, miss workouts, and cheat on your diet. Everyone's wired that way, even the most disciplined people. Stop thinking that if you can't perfect it, then you won't do it at all. With real-world results, there's practically no difference between sticking with a program 90% of the time to 100% of the time. What matters most is to stick to your plan 90% of the time so you can see reasonable progress. The 10% leeway won't hurt anyway. What do you think about this video? Leave your comment below. If you liked the video, give it a thumbs up. For more interesting facts on the human body, subscribe to the channel. Here are 2 more videos you should check out. Both of them will definitely help you reach your goals.